They say time heals all wounds, but no one ever tells you what to do with the ache while you wait. I remember the night everything ended. Not the technical ending, not the final text or the argument, but the real end. The one where your heart realizes what your mind has been trying to deny. I was sitting on the floor in my room, still wearing his hoodie, the one I refused to wash because it smelled like him. My phone was silent, but my mind was screaming. We hadn't spoken in days, and somehow the silence said more than any words could. He was gone. And not just physically, emotionally, mentally, so deep gone. The truth is, I thought we were forever. I saw my future with him. I built it in my head, brick by brick, memory by memory. And when it collapsed, it buried parts of me I didn't know I had. I didn't cry at first, not really. I was numb. I kept telling myself it was fine, that I'll be fine. But healing doesn't come from pretending you're okay. It starts the moment you admit you're not. I didn't see it then, but here's what I know now. Numbness is still pain. It just wears a quieter disguise. I spent those first few days in a haze. I replayed every moment, every laugh, every fight, every red flag I ignored. I scrolled through our photos like they were pages from a book I didn't want to close. It's strange how something that felt so real can vanish so fast and leave such a heavy silence behind. Then came the anger, not just at him, but at myself for trusting, for giving so much, for loving louder than I was ever loved back. If I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be this: you're not stupid for loving, you are brave. It took me a while to see that. At the time, I blamed myself. I kept wondering what I could have done differently, how I could have made him stay. That's the trap, isn't it? Believing that someone leaving means you weren't enough. But healing taught me something I would never forget. The right person won't need convincing to stay. I'll say that again. The right person will not need convincing to stay. There was one night, maybe 3 weeks after it ended, when I broke down completely. I'd held it in for too long. I screamed into my pillow. I collapsed on the floor. I think I scared myself a little. But in that moment, I let go. Not of him, not yet, but of the version of me that was holding on to the fantasy. That was my turning point. Because after the breakdown came the stillness. The kind of stillness that's not empty, but sacred. I began to see myself again. Not through his eyes, not through the lens of who I was when I was with him, but through my own, for the first time in a long time. I started journaling. I know that sounds cliche, but it helped. I wrote letters I never sent. I wrote truths I never spoke out loud. And in those pages, I met myself again. Broken, yes, but still breathing, still beating. There was a morning, I remember it vividly, when I woke up and it wasn't the first thought in my head. It startled me. I actually sat up and whispered, did I forget him? But it wasn't forgetting, it was healing. I used to think healing was loud, that it came with big changes, new hair, new city, new love. But healing is quiet. It's choosing not to text them back. It's deleting the playlist. It's walking past the places you used to meet and not falling apart. One day I found an old photo of us. I stared at it and then I smiled. Not because I missed him, but because I didn't. And that's when I knew. The pain didn't make me bitter, it just made me wiser, softer, more careful in my heart, but not closed off, just awake. If you're in the middle of that ache right now, I want to say this gently. You will not feel this way forever. I know it's hard to believe, but one day the weight will lift. You'll look in the mirror and see someone stronger, someone who made it through. I didn't see it then, but here's what I know now. Closure doesn't always come from them. Sometimes you have to give it to yourself. And when you do, when you stop waiting for them to explain or apologize or come back, that's when your real life begins again. I started doing little things just for me. Morning walks, music that fed my soul, saying no without guilt, laughing at shows I used to watch with him, not out of spite, but because I remembered I liked them first. The truth is, breakups aren't just about losing someone. They're about finding who you are without them. And what I found was someone I really liked. If I could reach out through the screen right now and hold your hand, I'll tell you this: don't rush your healing. Let it unfold. Let it be messy. Let it be human. And know, deeply know, that you are not alone. I know it's tempting to go back, to revisit the old messages, to hold on to what ifs, but please, love yourself enough to move forward. Love yourself like you wanted them to love you, because that's the kind of love that saves you, the kind that rebuilds you. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, someone else will see that light in you too. But by then, you won't be waiting to be saved. You'll already be whole. You've got this, I promise. And if this story felt like yours, maybe that's because it is. And maybe, just maybe, this is your turning point too. If you're still here, thank you for listening. Leave a comment if this spoke to you. I read every single one of them. And if you would like more stories like this, you know where to find me. Yours truly, Amara.